On July 6, 2012, a seemingly normal teenage girl named Skylar Neese vanished without a trace from her West Virginia home. What began as a missing persons case quickly spiraled into something far darker and more chilling than anyone could have imagined. This story isn't just about a girl who disappeared. It's about a horrifying betrayal, a friendship that ended in bloodshed, and the shocking truth behind the murder of Skylar Neese. Stick around as we dive into the terrifying details of this true story. Skylar Neese was just 16 years old when she vanished. On the surface, she was like any other high school girl, smart, outgoing, and well-liked. She had a bright future ahead of her. On the night of July 5th, 2012, Skylar returned home after working a shift at Wendy's. She greeted her parents, who kissed her goodnight, and retreated to her bedroom. But when her father, Dave Neese, checked on her the next morning, Skylar was nowhere to be found. Her window was open, and there was a small bench under it, like someone had quietly snuck out in the middle of the night. Panic set in. Skylar's parents immediately reported her missing. Security camera footage from their apartment complex showed something strange. At 12:30 a.m., Skylar was seen willingly getting into a car. It was dark, but the camera captured the outline of the vehicle. Who was driving, and where were they taking her? For months, Skylar's parents and local authorities searched tirelessly for answers, but no one had any clue what had really happened. Skylar's two best friends, Sheila Eddy and Rachel Schoaf, claimed they didn't know where she was. They told police that the three of them had hung out briefly that night, but dropped Skylar off near her home, alive and well. Behind closed doors, though, rumors began to swirl. It became clear that not everything was as it seemed. Sheila and Rachel's stories didn't quite add up. They were evasive, hiding something. And as time passed, people began to wonder if Skylar's disappearance was more than just a case of a runaway teen. 6 months after Skylar's disappearance, on January 3rd, 2013, the truth came crashing down in a way no one could have expected. Rachel Schoaf broke under the pressure. Her guilt, combined with growing suspicion and intense questioning from the police, led her to crack. She admitted the unthinkable. She and Sheila had murdered their best friend, Skylar Neese. The confession was horrifying. Rachel revealed that she and Sheila had planned the murder for months. The two girls lured Skylar out that night with the promise of driving around and hanging out, just like they had done many times before. But their intentions were far from innocent. They took Skylar to a remote area just across the Pennsylvania border, where they stabbed her to death in cold blood. According to Rachel, Skylar's last words were, "Why?" As soon as Rachel confessed, law enforcement acted swiftly. They found Skylar's remains in a secluded woodland area where Rachel had directed them. The body had decomposed significantly, but it was enough to confirm Skylar's tragic fate. The revelation that two seemingly normal teenage girls had conspired to kill their friend shocked the community. Why would they do such a thing? Investigators dug deeper and discovered that the motive was chillingly simple. Sheila and Rachel no longer wanted to be friends with Skylar. She knew too much about their lives, their secrets, and they decided the only way to silence her was to eliminate her altogether. Once Rachel's confession was public, there was no turning back. Sheila Eddy was arrested on May 1st, 2013, while Rachel was already in custody. Both girls were charged as adults with first-degree murder. Rachel Schoaf pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, and in exchange for her cooperation with the authorities, received a lighter sentence. She was sentenced to 30 years in prison, with the possibility of parole after 10 years. Sheila Eddy, however, was seen as the mastermind behind the murder. In January 2014, she pleaded guilty to first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 15 years. While both girls faced justice, the trial left deep scars in the community, particularly for Skylar's family. The Neeses had lost their only child in a horrific betrayal, and they were determined that her death would not be in vain. Skylar's parents channeled their grief into action. They advocated for changes in the way missing children's cases are handled. One major issue with Skylar's case was the delayed response. Because she was classified as a runaway and not an abducted child, an Amber Alert wasn't issued. The Neeses worked with state legislators to pass Skylar's Law, which ensures that an Amber Alert can be issued for any missing child, even if authorities initially believe they ran away. Their efforts were successful, and in 2013, Skylar's Law was passed in West Virginia. This law has helped raise awareness about missing children and ensure quicker responses in future cases. Skylar Neese's story is a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly friendships can turn toxic and deadly. The betrayal by her two best friends sent shockwaves through not only her community, but the entire nation. Her parents' bravery in fighting for change after their devastating loss has left a lasting impact that continues to protect children today. Skylar's memory lives on in the hearts of those who knew her, and her legacy as a bright, loving young girl whose life was cut tragically short will never be forgotten. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe for more true crime stories that dig deep into the mysteries and tragedies behind the headlines. Thanks for watching.